In Zimbabwe ahead of the inauguration of Emmerson Mnangagwa. My colleague Aldrin Sampier is in Harare tracking developments for us this morning. Aldrin, what's the mood there like? Already queues snaking with people wanting to get into that stadium and not miss that inauguration.
Well, yes, certainly, Dudu. Since the early hours of this morning, some people arriving around about 6 o'clock to make their way here to the stadium, to come and fill up the stadium and listen to Emmerson Mnangagwa as he takes his oath of office as president-elect for the first time as president-elect. Remember that in November when he took oath of office, it was him coming in after Robert Mugabe had resigned, and a lot of excitement here, people arriving in the early hours of the morning. And I just want to quickly read you a quote here from the Sunday Mail, which really sums up the ascension of Emmerson Mnangagwa. It starts off by saying, this time last year, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa appeared to be on the ropes, hounded by a faction in ZANU-PF that has surrounded him, that had surrounded President Robert Mugabe at the time. Less than a year later, after being poisoned, sacked and briefly forced to leave the country, he will be inaugurated for the first 5-year term as head of state and government and the commander-in-chief of the Zimbabwean Defense Force, marking the dawn of the Second Republic. And this is quite interesting. Not only did Emmerson Mnangagwa have to go through those tribulations, but also a challenge to his election launched by the MDC Alliance. And as we heard on Friday, the Constitutional Court then making the ruling that the president-elect and the duly elected president of this country is Emmerson Mnangagwa. And that's why you have these thousands of supporters of ZANU-PF coming out in their numbers to come and celebrate this victory. But quite importantly, many will be listening to the president as to what he has to offer and what he has to promise them, considering some of the promises that he had made in his manifesto. And one of the people who benefited from the indigenization program of this country is this gentleman over here. So just quickly tell us about the farm that you received and what sort of assistance you think government may be able to help you with.
Okay. We expect the government to assist us to get more inputs and improve on mechanization such that we take our farming activities to greater heights, and so that we produce for export. So far as we speak, we are producing enough for our families, and we are producing enough to surplus to sell to other people. But we can still do more if we get mechanized and we get inputs at good prices. Yes.
Do you think that the market is not available? Probably you'd have to export?
Definitely, because as we can see, we are getting a lot of produce from the farms, and most of our products we are not able to sell them outside the country. But if the government can make a system whereby the surplus that we are getting, if it goes out of the country, we'll get a lot of money, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's just quickly speak to this lady as well. Back in 2000 as well, you received your farm, and we were joking earlier on, you were saying that you're making a lot of money.
Yes, sure. I'm making a lot of money and I'm enjoying my farm. I've got pigs, I've got a couple of chickens, I plow tobacco, I plow maize. So what we want is the president to to give us our inputs in time, so that we can get our early yields. That's what we want, because at our area it's region 1, so we have got to make it quick, because there is a lot of rain there. So if you delay to plow your seeds, you have got to be very fast, Yeah.
Do you think that the President, Emmerson Mnangagwa, will be somebody who's able to do this? Also taking into consideration that he has been crisscrossing the world and trying to woo investors as well, and telling people why they should be investing in Zimbabwe.
Yes, I know. I'm very, very proud of him. And he's a respectable man. I know he can do that. and I'm fond of him.
Well, it's quite evident. Let me just quickly speak to this gentleman over here. He's going to speak in Shona and just quickly tell us what it is that he's expecting from the president as he delivers his maiden speech as a president-elect of this country.
Yeah, ndikufara chaizvo nekugadzwa kuri kuitwa vaMnangagwa. Chekutanga chandinyanya kufarisa ndechekuti ndiwo vakaintroduce yatinoti command agriculture inova yatikuwana mainputs tichizodzorera kuchinge taendesa kuchibage kuGMP. Saka tiri kuzvifarira siteri sezvo vapinda pachigaro tikuziva kuti vacharamba vachiita zvakawanda kupfuura pane zvavakatanga kuita vasati vapresident.
Okay, just quickly sum up for us what he said there.
Oh, he's saying that since the president is the one who introduced the command agriculture, which has been so successful in this country, such that even the GMB silos are full of maize and the staple foods. So he expects that the Comrade Mnangagwa is going to improve on that, and is so excited that he has been elected to be, and is going to be sworn today for another full term, which means that we are going to get a lot of assistance from him.
Well, thank you so much. Exactly. He has 5 years to try and improve this country, its state of economy. We also know that unemployment is a big issue for Zimbabwe. According to the official state, the official numbers, the official figures indicating that around 90% of the people here in Zimbabwe do not have formal employment. And as you heard in the insert earlier on as well, that young man saying that what they want is that they want jobs, and whether Emmerson Mnangagwa's government over the next 5 years will be able to provide that is something that we'll have to wait and see. Let me just quickly speak to this lady as well over here. Speak to us about your level of excitement of being here.
Today we are very excited. We come here for inauguration of our president, Mnangagwa. We are very happy with our father. We need everything to change. We need jobs. Our children need jobs. Even us, we need even anything we want. So we are very happy because our father knows that we love him. We love him.
Do you think that he'll be able to convince or to change the economy around, that will be able to persuade Zimbabweans who had left this country to come back and rebuild Zimbabwe?
I know that our president can manage to change everything. We are in a new Zimbabwe now, so we are very happy.
I see the papers calling it the second republic, but here's the other thing. Looking at Emmerson Mnangagwa and of course being the leader of ZANU-PF as it stands at the moment, do you think that he'll be able then to unify ZANU-PF as well?
Yes, he can able to do that.
What exactly is it that you expect him, the role that he should be playing as party leader?
Now, even our children, they are just loitering, but he promises us that he can give him a job. Even our children, some they are not going to school, but he wants them to go to school, not just loitering around the city.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, these are some of the things that people expect from President Emmerson Mnangagwa. He will be delivering his maiden speech later on this afternoon. And as we've been indicating that around 5 heads of state confirmed to be attending, as well as President Cyril Ramaphosa and Paul Kagame, who's also the chairperson of the African Union. And it's quite interesting that you have SADC, the South African Development Community chairperson, Cyril Ramaphosa being here, as well as the African Union Commission chairperson also being part of these proceedings that will be taking place today, which certainly gives us some sort of indication that there is an endorsement coming from both these bodies, even though you have Nelson Chamisa and the MDC Alliance saying that these elections were rigged, and Nelson Chamisa saying that he is the duly elected president of this country, certainly not in the face of these people who will be attending here, the heads of state.
Very much, Elgin St. Pierre in Harare, Zimbabwe. For us, we'll touch base with you a little bit later on.